Welcome, parents, community members, friends, family, staff, and most importantly, our graduating class of 2021. Pew, pew, pew. We're here to celebrate your past 12 years of education, to reflect on the community and culture that you built at IDEA. We are also very proud of the work that you've done, and we're excited to hear about the places you're going to go. Our parents, we would like to ask you to wait until the very end of the ceremony to celebrate and clap on behalf of the entire student body. For now, we would like everyone to rise for our national anthem.
What's so proudly we oh say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is my pleasure to introduce the student-selected class speaker, ASB president and embodiment of our 4 pillars: community, empathy, thinking, and balance, late Elaina Darrington. I'm fine.
They are numbered. Well played. I got 7, 8. There's 3.
Maybe I got 1.
Let's go 1. There's 1.
1, 2, 3. I got 6.
7, 8.
I got 4.
9 to 11.
9 to 11.
And this is your start.
Yeah.
But you got 5. There's 6. 9, 10, 11.
I'm going to hold your cap for you.
Thank you. That works just fine.
Go, Elaina.
Alrighty, off to a rough start. As any great speech begins, I'd like to start off with some gratitude. I'd like to thank our teachers for dragging us to the finish line. I'd like to thank our families for supporting us along the way. I'd like to thank the mentors, community members, neighbors, coworkers, and random people on the internet who just gave us the boost that we needed to get by. Somehow, we made it to today, graduation day. I wasn't sure if we were all going to make it into one room or stadium. Our senior year and high school career were filled with struggles, but here are some things from the highlight reel. The insane Frisbee tournaments, the huge feasts that took up the hallway for no apparent reason, the random objects that you just got used to seeing, like giant animal masks or chairs made from bike seats, that one nail art microterm that took over the whole school in one afternoon, the picnic tables that we made to extend our lunchroom and replace those tiny booths we used to have, how even though we never had a standard PE class, the 1.4-mile round trip to Wapato and the 3-ish flights of stairs got a little bit easier every time. The way that you could never leave the wood shop without a drop of glue and a handful of dust. There are more memories than I could ever have the time to say. Our class is an interesting one. We aren't the first to graduate, and we certainly aren't the last, but we are the first ones doing it in person, and you know what they say, second is the best, right? As freshmen, we came into an environment with an already established, tight-knit group. Just when we had wiggled our way in, we were sandwiched between classes and had to make room for more students again. As a class, we have always been the middle child, often feeling overshadowed by the first class while mentoring the next. But we rolled with the punches, wearing our many hats well. And when we had to say goodbye to last year's class, it was abrupt. We didn't get the tearful hugs and goodbyes we had expected due to COVID. But then, it was time for us to step up and be the leaders of school. We were the ones with the most experience now. And if I may, we did a damn good job. We made first looks happen. We prepared the juniors to be seniors next year. We managed to rejoin society again. We battled uncertainty with in-person and hybrid schooling. We handled software issues with as much grace as possible, and we were flexible with the many, many changes. Every sign, every decoration, every Hallmark card says, "Congratulations, you made it." But we did make it, and we did it during a frickin' pandemic. But now what? Now, we will move forward and be engineers of our own lives. We know how to work through complex problems and find unique solutions. We know that our ideas are the most powerful tools in our toolbox. We have learned that if we don't know the answer, we can find it somewhere. Take a look around you. This is the last time we will all be together. The last time you will know everyone around you so closely in an educational setting. As we go forth today, we will go on vastly different paths. But nobody else has had an experience quite like ideas. I will miss the comfort of the unexpected that lies here. Here, we learned how to sand things very, very smooth. We know the design thinking process like the back of our hands, and we can stand in a circle really, really well. But most importantly, here, we took a building and made a school, and we took a chance and made a legacy. Thank you.
It is also my pleasure to introduce the faculty-selected class speaker, a leader in classes, shop spaces, and hallways alike, A.K. Crystal Keaton.
Good job, Elaina. That was really good. That's going to be a hard act to follow. I'm really glad I was able to hear you speak. That was really cool. So, hi, everyone. My name is Crystal Quiton. As I'm sure many of you know, I go by AK. And wow, we just did like 4 years. That's pretty incredible. Though this moment is actually more like 13 years in the making, which is like an insane amount of commitment. That's longer than half my life, which is pretty cool. I still remember my first day with IDEA, excluding the first looks. It was at camp, and dude, I was so scared. I didn't know who was going to want to be my friend, or if even anyone wanted to be my friend. But as time went on, and I was able to meet new people, get to know my mentor group, I was able to play carpet ball and participate in skits and listen to dad jokes, and I began to feel like I was going to be okay. I began to feel better. In fact, I was able to text my mom with confidence that I thought I was going to be all right. Actually, come to think of it, I think it was just after Higgins had a lip synced. All right. At IDEA, I've been able to make so many cool memories, like the time we went bowling as a mentor group, or we had a gingerbread contest and then we tested them on the shake table to see how strong they were. But I have done so much more than make cool memories. I have also grown a lot. I remember taking Robin's dance class. Man, I was so out of my comfort zone. But by taking that class, it helped me to feel more confident being out of my comfort zone and showed me that scary things, like performing in front of an audience, can be worth it. Another really cool thing I learned during my stay here was the impact that we have on the culture around us. As one of IDEA's earlier classes, there wasn't really a strong sense of culture here before we got here. We got to play a huge part in shaping that culture. We needed to bring the energy we wanted to see, which created an active community that could bring about change, a community that was open to new ideas and discussion, and a community that was diverse and accepting. Shaping the community was applied in a physical sense. I mean, we were literally building the world around us. When we got here, there wasn't a lot. So we made like tables and chairs and lights, and we made walls, and the coffee shop for the student lounge. It ended up coming out really awesome. However, we can also see this culture being applied in some of the less tangible things, like how we made a girls' STEM camp for middle schoolers, or participated in Propel STEM, things that we did because we knew that there was a community need, one bigger than us, and we took steps to fill that need. This is a really important lesson that I'm so glad that we have learned. There is a lot of power in realizing your own ability to shape the world and environment around you, and that your ideas of power, and really is our better class to have learned this. I mean, not to brag or anything, but we're pretty awesome. I really look forward to seeing the impact you make on the future communities you become a part of. Taking this mindset with you, I know that you'll create an amazing impact at whatever community you become a part of, whether that be a future school you attend, a workplace, or just the community at large. I know that you have the power to bring about the change you want to see, and I can't wait to watch it happen.
A very warm welcome to our IDEA families, friends, and community partners. We want to thank Superintendent Santorno, Dr. Garcia, Dr. Hostetter, and School Board Member Bonbright for supporting and celebrating with us today. We also welcome our speaker, Colonel Stainpine. Please join me in appreciating our teachers and support staff who have gone above and beyond to ensure the success of every student every day. And welcome especially to the dreamers, designers, and doers sitting before us, the IDEA class of 2021. To our soon-to-be graduates, although you are technically the second class to graduate from the School of Industrial Design, Engineering, and Art, in many ways your class has been asked to pioneer, adapt, and trailblaze just as much as the first class before you. As early adopters, you dedicated your time, energy, and faith to a school committed to building community around a shared passion for designing and building a brighter future. And today, that faith pays off as we celebrate our first ever in-person graduation ceremony together. Thinking back on the past 4 years, it wasn't the building, the schedule, or the curriculum that has framed our community, because we've all seen those change throughout your high school career. It was you that laid the foundation upon which our community was built and from which it now continues to grow. It was you, the students, alongside your teachers, through a multitude of shared experiences. We all met for the first time at camp, as you've now heard multiple times, 4 years ago, where we bonded over shared meals, pillar activities in the field, and plenty of dad jokes. Since then, our care for one another grew over Thanksgiving feasts and Ultimate Fridays. By serving as bridges, you helped each other navigate the high school experience and the challenges that accompany it through inclusion. Soon we began inviting the community beyond to come and see the amazing work you'd accomplished through our design showcases. In collaboration with your teachers and peers, you impressively created and produced paddle boards, designer lanterns, garden sheds, eco cars, picnic tables, 3D masks, canoes, hours of digital music composition, a cafe, and that's just scratching the surface. The interruption to in-person learning in the past year put our flexibility and adaptability to the test. But it was a challenge you and your peers at IDEA were well equipped to meet. 3 crucial principles of the design process are prototyping, testing, and improving. And while the last 14 months have tested our collective tensile strength, because we stuck together, we never broke. And now, here you are. Through those demanding months, you showed that community, empathy, thinking, and balance aren't just words on a t-shirt, but rather stand as true and genuine pillars that allow us now to honor the end of one journey and the beginning of the next. As I look out at the IDEA class of 2021, I see a mosaic of talents and ambitions that will take you all in new, exciting directions. From embarking on an engineering pathway at Oregon State, to exploring video game design at DigiPen, from starting trades apprenticeships in electrical engineering and woodworking, to attending the Savannah College of Art and Design. By earning the diploma you have today, you've opened doors to tremendous opportunity. Continue to dream, design, and do great things. IDEA wouldn't be where it is today without your dedication, and we are proud to know that no matter where you go next, you'll take a piece of us with you. Thank you, and congratulations, IDEA Class of 2021, on your great achievement.
Hello, idealists. Congratulations. What an honor and privilege it is for me to introduce our guest speaker today. Our speaker embodies IDEA's core values of community, empathy, thinking, and balance. And through these core values has transformed and inspired thousands of military service members, their families, the communities they serve, and one very humbled math teacher. She is an Air Force officer, a command pilot with more than 3,500 flying hours, an innovator, and a leader. Please join me in welcoming my dear friend and mentor, Colonel Aaron Stainpine, commander of the 62nd Airlift Wing, McChord Air Force Base, Joint Base, Lewis-McChord, Washington.
Wow, what an honor, and I'll tell you, the fact that you have a teacher here like Jen Floniker, that speaks volumes to the quality of instructors that you must have at this school. To the members of the IDEA family, and most importantly, to the dreamers, designers, and doers who make up the second graduating class of IDEA High School, thank you for inviting me to take part in this momentous occasion. As Jen mentioned, my name is Colonel Aaron Stainpine. I have the honor of being the commander of the 62nd Airlift Wing at Joint Base Lewis-McChord, and it is indeed my privilege to be here with you today. I should mention that the views that I express today are my own, and they do not reflect the Department of Defense's or the Air Force's, although hopefully I won't say anything so controversial that my leadership won't agree with me. You know, when you attend a high school graduation, you can't help but reflect on your own high school experiences. My high school experience was a time before cell phones, before Netflix. We had an Apple computer, but about the coolest thing you could do on it was play Tetris, and it certainly didn't have the cult following that it has today. I certainly do remember my graduation day. It was a really warm day in Virginia. I think I paid a ridiculous amount of money for that cap and gown that you guys are wearing today. And my family showed up in full force, and they were incredibly proud. But I also admit that for the life of me, I cannot remember who my graduation speaker was, and I'll keep that in mind with the length of this speech today. One of the things I do distinctly remember, though, from my senior year of high school is that the Secretary of Defense ordered that the military services allow women to fly in combat. While most of my classmates at the time probably had no idea there was a debate raging about women serving in combat roles, it was astonishing to me. You see, I had committed to attend the United States Air Force Academy. I wanted to fly airplanes. But even more, I dreamed of being an astronaut. And not just any astronaut, I wanted to fly the space shuttle. All NASA pilots are graduates of the Air Force or the Navy Test Pilot School. It's incredibly hard and competitive to become a test pilot, but nearly impossible if you never get the opportunity to fly fighter aircraft. While Secretary Aspen ordered the opening of cockpits, he and the military services continued to block women from serving in ground combat units. And it would be another 20 years before the ban on women in ground combat units would be lifted. It took 2 wars, the reality of insurgent warfare, and numerous women giving their lives in combat to make the formal ban on women in combat practically meaningless. When I was sitting at my own high school graduation, I had no idea what the consequences of Secretary Aspen authorizing women like me to fly in combat and what it would mean for my life. Today, the percentage of women serving in your military has slowly risen, although there's still work to do here. Even more importantly, women have steadily and successfully integrated into combat arms jobs, serving as leaders of Marine platoons, Army infantry units, Air Force wings, and commanding Navy ships. They're achieving greater seniority, especially in the Air Force and the Navy, where more female airmen and sailors have achieved the rank of general officer. While the end of the Space Shuttle program in 2011 put a damper on my dream of becoming an astronaut, I have had the most incredible military career. I'm a command pilot with more than 3,500 hours and more than 900 hours flying in combat and combat support. I'm a graduate of the Air Force Weapons School, the most demanding combat flying course in the United States Air Force. I've deployed 9 times, with my first deployment shortly after 9/11, flying into a tiny dirt runway in the middle of Afghanistan, inserting special forces and U.S. Marines tasked to take Kandahar, Afghanistan. I've commanded at the flight squadron and wing levels, and I have no doubt that the Air Force is more combat effective because I and 200,000 other women are members of the military. So what does my experience mean for you? The IDEA graduating class of 2021. As a class whose senior year has been mired by a global pandemic, unsettling race relationships, a test on our democratic processes like none we've seen in our country's history. Your high school experience certainly has been unique. You've attended a school whose mission aspires to change public education through its core values. Embracing life with a mindset grounded in community, deep thinking, balance, and empathy. And it will take you anywhere you want to go. Through your experiences here, you have grown and developed in an environment of applied learning, with your peers acting as partners and teachers acting as guides. Through this model, you have built the skills that will enable you to approach and solve real-world problems. You've got a community around you that's engaged and invested in your success. And I'm telling you, you're entering into a world with hardworking, intelligent people who want change, who want a better future, and you know that change is impossible without them. I know because I serve with these amazing, talented, selfless airmen every single day. As you step out into this world, each day you will be faced with your own unknown future, full of challenges, ambiguities, risks, and unknowns that are as unique as you are. And if you're anything like me, the fear of the unknown is real. But without fear, there is no courage. As Maya Angelou says, if one has courage, nothing can dim the light that shines within. So enter your future with courage. You see, what I really want you to know is that despite the obstacles, the unfairness, the inequity that exist, there is progress and there is reason to be hopeful. If you want to make a difference in this world, you don't have to be a famous artist, a race car driver, or even president of the United States. What we need in America is people with a variety of different talents and viewpoints who are willing to make a difference in their local communities. Citizens who will serve others, think of others, and care for others. We need adults who are thinking and ready to have adult conversations based on research and fact and knowledge, and not the misinformation passed around on social media or the talking heads on cable news programs. We need adults who have empathy for the viewpoints of others and can see an issue from someone else's perspective. We need leaders who understand that life requires balance and that you can't be all things to all people, but instead to be true to yourself and your own values. And I want you to know that you're ready. You're ready to make a difference. Graduating class of 2021, whether you realize it or not, you are ready. The things you need to make a difference in this world are the core values of community, thinking, empathy, and balance. You created that community that cares. You've had tough conversations trying to make sense of what's happened over the past year. You've brought different viewpoints and listened from a place of intense curiosity, not judgment. You've looked for balance as you've developed your own values and truths. And if you can do this here in this small high school in the Pacific Northwest, then it can happen anywhere. You know, I believe that small successes add up. They empower and they embolden, and they give others the strength to make things better and make things right. This is your challenge, and hopefully it'll be your legacy. I wish you nothing short of wild success in this endeavor. As the future of America and all that I have fought for in my lifetime, it's in your hands. Thank you again for the honor of addressing you. I'm incredibly proud to be associated with such a talented and impactful organization and such amazing graduates. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. By the authority vested in me by the state of Washington, I certify the 2021 class of the School of Industrial Design and Engineering and Art has met the requirements as stipulated by the state of Washington and Tacoma School District Number 10, which would entitle them to a diploma. I hereby present the class of 2021 to the Superintendent of Tacoma Schools, Carla Santorno.
Congratulations, 2021 IDEA graduates. You are really special to me. You'll be the last IDEA class that'll graduate for me, because I'm retiring at the end of June as superintendent. So you are really special. You are one also for the books. Your presence here today is a testament to all you've accomplished. You've survived the perils of COVID-19. You've overcome so many challenges, and you've not only survived, you've thrived. Lastly, just want to give you a statement from former President Barack Obama. I love this. You don't have to accept things for the way they are. You can show us how not to put these pieces back together again, but to create a new and more evolved normal, a world just, kind, beautiful, tender, luminous, a creative whole. So that's your task, graduates. We need you to step out and use the resilience, perseverance, and courage that you applied during this time of pandemic, tragedy, and divisiveness. So go out, find your dream, find your power, and act on it. Hone and refine your personal talents and strengths that define you, and contribute them to your community and your world. And know we are proud of you. With the assurance of co-directors John Kettler, Zach Varnell, and Kainoa Higgins, that the Industrial Design, Engineering, and Art class of 2021 has met the requirements for graduation, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2021 to School Board Vice President Elizabeth Bonbright, for graduation. Congratulations.
IDEA families, you must be so proud. This is quite a group of graduates, and we've heard some this afternoon, from the speakers, the graduate speakers who have talked about the pathway here and how it's been filled with all sorts of challenges and exciting opportunities. And now they've reached the point where they're moving forward into the world, making decisions, and they're going to be great ones, because look at this group. I have to say, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. And thank you to the families who have supported these students to get to this point in their life, and you've given them a great platform to move forward from here. So let's have an applause for the families. And again, I'm so proud of you, and it is my honor, put the glasses on, by the power vested in me by the state of Washington, and with the assurance from the Superintendent Santorno that you have completed the requirements for high school graduation, I declare this Industrial Design, Engineering, and Art class of 2021 graduated. Congratulations. It's official.
Joelle Lonnie Alexander.
Zachary Allen Ashe.
Evan Lewis Bailey.
Daniel Evan Barr.
Banner Tav Barstad.
Levi Beecher.
Joshua James Beasley.
Sebastian Thomas Bowerman.
Aiden Matheson Brown.
Trinity Aaliyah Brigham.
Kyan Jason Calhoun.
Lyle Gerard Bird.
Jessica Rose Christensen.
Madison Marie Castonia.
Clara Elizabeth Zuliger.
Isabella Marie Copians.
Elaina Rosemarie Darrington.
Jackson Porter Dahl.
Cole Fernandez.
Eric Esquivel Dolores.
Novalee Anne-Marie Fodor McCauley.
Taylor Jaden Feynman.
Bria Marie Gold.
Alex Giacoso.
Sebastian Isaac Michael Guillen.
Clara Marie Greer.
August James Hafner.
Marilee Elizabeth Golmatico.
Jonathan Alexander Hopper.
Samuel J. Harris.
Caden Edward Jarman.
Dylan Sundance Howard.
Pradeep Felix Krishna.
Macon Degalier Klaumenzer.
Cole Grayson Markham.
Abby Louise McCombs. Nice work, buddy.
Paige Rhiannon McCusker.
Just making sure. Devin Ryan Masenko.
Cecilia Lene Moran.
Alex Bull Nam.
Jacob Samuel Nicholson.
Dylan Elias O'Catherine.
Alexander Lane O'Donnell.
Okay. Ocean Raymond Ulysses Perkins Gilbert.
Lindsay Sage Quinlisk.
A.K. Crystal May Keaton.
Zachary John Ramsey.
Cameron Bryce Rivers.
Angelina Renee Rodriguez.
Paul Thomas Rogers.
William Philip Rowe.
Davion Adante Sanchez Calhoun.
Oscar Santana.
Oliver Jaden Skirko.
Maxwell Alec Sledge.
Blake Allen Thompson.
Ethan William Tichy.
Charlie Tran.
Alex Lee Tran.
Michael Toby Williams.
Kaylin Thomas Wingate.
Thank you, IDEA students and families, for being with us. Is this on? There we go. Thank you, IDEA students and families, for being with us this afternoon to celebrate our graduates. Thank you to all the staff and community members who worked so hard to put on this special event. This moment in the journey is to be celebrated by all of us in our community. Families, please remain in your seats as the graduates and staff exit the field. Please meet your students in the parking lot. Graduates, please stand. It is with great pleasure that I congratulate the IDEA class of 2021. As a gesture of your completion of high school at this time, please move your tassels to the left side of your cap. Do not throw your caps, please. Thank you all. Have a great evening and congratulations.